30 days of the United States Navy hammering 21 nautical miles of water. The right question is, why the Navy, after 30 days of the most intense naval campaign since World War II, was to understand why the Navy needed Marines, when the answer is not because the Navy is weak. The answer is because Iran does not fight the way the Navy was built to win. Iran does not fight on the surface. 3,500 sailors and Marines. We first need to understand the trap.
Every visible threat hit. From a distance, it looked like total
The Strait of
dominance,
Hormuz is not
like
closed by
nothing
warships.
could possibly
It is
survive
closed by a
that
system.
level of sustained
Before we discuss what
firepower.
Marines solve,
And
we
yet,
must understand why the
despite
Navy,
all of it,
with all
the
its
Strait of
firepower,
Hormuz
has not solved it
remained
yet.
closed.
And the Strait
oil
of
tank
Hormuz is still
waited.
closed.
Trade routes
So they sent
still
something
froze.
else.
The
Not
world
more
economy
missiles,
still
not
held
more
its
warships,
breath.
Marines.
That contradiction
On
is
March
where
27th, the
real
USS
story
Tripoli
begins.
arrived in the
Because
Central
when
Command area of
overwhelming
operations.
force fails to
850
produce control,
Tomahawk cruise
it
missiles,
exposes
3
something
carrier
deeper,
strike groups,
something structural.
40 warships,
So the response
thousands of
wasn't
sorties,
more missiles, and it
13,000
wasn't more
military
ships.
targets destroyed.
Instead,
Iranian
something
forces are
else
prepared to
entered the
confront any
equation.
American troops
A
who set
different
foot on
kind of
Iranian
force.
soil.
One
The question on
designed
everyone's
not just to
mind,
destroy,
Marines cannot
but to
land on an
solve
island
a
whose air
problem
defenses are intact.
firepower alone
The Ospreys would be
couldn't
shot
fix.
down on approach.
And once that
F-35Bs
shift
cannot
happens,
suppress the landing zone if
everything
Iran
about this
still has
operation
functioning radar
starts
and
to look
surface-to-air
very
missiles.
different.
Mind
At first glance, the campaign appeared
For 40
unstoppable.
years, Iran prepared
Thousands
for
of
amphibious
targets
assault
struck
the way
across
the
land
world
and
has
sea.
always known it.
Iranian
Ships
naval
approached the shore.
assets reduced
Landing craft emerged from well
dramatically.
decks.
Networks
Marines hit the beach
pressured
under
to the
fire.
point of collapse.
D-Day, Falklands,
From the
Kuwait,
outside,
1991.
it resembled a textbook
Every
example
amphibious
of
invasion
modern
in modern
military
history
dominance,
started the same
precision,
way,
speed,
from the
and
water. Will the
overwhelming
Marines
scale.
invade?
But
Wrong
beneath
question.
that surface, there was something
F-35Bs
critical
on the
wasn't
flight
happening.
deck. The
The
USS
objective
Boxer
wasn't
is
just
transiting behind
destruction.
her with
The
2,200
objective
more,
was control,
more than
and
5,000
control
Marines,
never arrived.
heading toward the narrowest
Ships
choke
were
point
gone,
on Earth.
but the water
Iran's
wasn't
parliament
safe.
speaker
Radars
Ghalibaf
were
responded
silent,
within
but
48
the
hours.
threat wasn't eliminated.
Iran fights with
The
layers.
deeper reality
It uses
began to
inertial
emerge.
navigation to cruise
This
and
wasn't a
switches to
failure
active
of
radar homing
capability.
only in the
It
final
was a
miles,
mismatch of
minimizing the
design.
window a target
The
has
Navy
to
was
detect and
executing
jam.
exactly what
Iran
it was
reverse
built to
engineered
do.
this from the Chinese
Project power
C-802,
across
then
distance,
mass-produced it
eliminate
domestically.
targets,
The tunnel network is
dominate
equally
open
deliberate.
water.
Hardened
But
mountain
Iran
facilities
wasn't
with multiple
presenting a
exit points.
traditional
The
naval
foundation
problem.
of this defense
It
lies
wasn't
beneath the
offering a
surface.
fleet to
The
defeat.
Defense Intelligence Agency
Instead,
estimated
it
Iran
presented
possessed more than
something
5,000
layered,
naval mines
distributed,
before
and
Epic
deeply
Fury began.
embedded into
Laid
geography
quickly from
itself.
speedboats, submarines,
That's
and shore
where the
positions.
illusion
Cheap,
breaks.
hidden,
Because power
passive.
applied in
They
the
sit on the
wrong way
seabed and
doesn't
wait,
solve the
and they were
problem.
placed before
It
day
just
one of the
exposes
operation.
it.
An
The Strait
escort
of
destroyer
Hormuz
does not
isn't
solve mines.
defended
The
like a
mines are already in the
battlefield.
water.
It is
Iran has established what he
engineered like a
called a
system.
toll gate between
And that
Larak and
system
Keshem,
doesn't rely
a
on
checkpoint
one
controlling
weapon or
every
one
vessel
layer.
that passes
It
through.
relies on
The engineering
all of them
behind these
working
missiles
together.
deserves respect. The
Beneath
Noor
the
is a
surface,
sea-skimming cruise
thousands
missile.
of
It flies at
naval
15 to
mines
20
sit
feet above the
silently,
waterline during its
placed
terminal
long
phase,
before the
below
first
the scan
strike
horizon
ever
of most
occurred.
shipborne
They
radars
don't
until the
need
final
guidance.
15 seconds
They
of
don't
flight.
need communication.
Immobile TELs
They
that
just
emerge
wait.
from tunnels, fire,
Above
and
them,
retreat
key
remain a
islands
threat that has
like
not been
Abu
fully
Musa,
neutralized.
Larak,
The
and
MV-22B
Kesh act as
Osprey is a
fixed
tilt rotor,
strongholds,
not a helicopter,
equipped with
not an
anti-ship
airplane.
missiles,
It is
radar
both.
coverage,
Two engine
and
nacelles
hidden
mounted on the
launch
wingtips
positions
rotate
carved
90
into
degrees.
terrain that's
Vertical
difficult
for
to
takeoff
fully
and landing like a
neutralize.
helicopter,
These aren't
horizontal for
temporary
cruise flight like a
defenses.
turboprop.
They're permanent
The conversion
features
takes
of the
approximately
battle
12
space.
seconds.
And
That
beyond
is 12
those
seconds
islands
to transform
lies
a
the
helicopter
mainland,
into an
stretching
airplane.
for hundreds of miles, lined with mobile
And that
missile
transformation
systems that don't
changes
stay
everything.
still long enough
The
to be
conventional assault
easily
helicopter
destroyed.
Iran built its
They
defenses
emerge,
to stop,
fire,
the CH-46
and
Sea
disappear
Knight or
back
the
into
Army's
hardened
UH-60 Blackhawk,
positions.
cruises
What
at
this
140
creates is
knots
not
with a
a
combat
front line,
radius of
but a
200
network,
nautical
a
miles.
system
That is
where
exactly
every
the
layer
target Iran's
supports the
man
others.
pads and island
So when
garrisons
one
were
piece is
calibrated
hit,
to
the
intercept.
rest
The Osprey
continue
cruises
functioning.
at 270
That's the
knots,
trap.
twice the
You're
speed
not
of the
targeting
helicopters Iran's
individual
defenses were
threats.
built to
You're
intercept.
confronting
Its
an
combat
entire
radius exceeds
architecture
390
designed
nautical
to
miles,
absorb
nearly
damage
double.
and
And the
keep
critical
operating.
detail? Its transit
Modern
altitude
firepower
is 15,000
incredibly
feet.
effective at
Here's the
one
equation.
thing: destruction.
Firepower can destroy a
It can
radar.
remove targets,
Firepower can
eliminate
destroy a silo.
infrastructure, and reshape
Firepower
the
cannot
battlefield
seize an
from a
island.
distance. But
Firepower
what it
cannot hold a
do is
coastline.
replace
Firepower
presence.
cannot
It
protect a
cannot
mine-sweeping
stand in a
vessel while it
location
works
and
slowly,
guarantee safety.
methodically,
It
within
cannot
range of
ensure
every
that a path
surviving
remains
coastal
open
battery
once
Iran
it's
still
cleared.
operates.
In Hormuz,
Missiles only
that
create
limitation
craters.
becomes
They do not
impossible
occupy
to
territory.
ignore.
And at
Clearing naval
Hormuz, someone has to hold the
requires
ground that
slow,
overlooks the water.
methodical work
That is not a
carried out
destroyer
in
mission.
dangerous
That is not a
conditions.
carrier mission.
Holding
That is a marine
strategic
mission.
islands
And and that is
requires
exactly
forces
who just
physically
arrived.
on the ground.
But here's the question viewers
Protecting
keep
those
asking.
operations
If Marines are the
requires
answer,
constant,
why did the Navy wait
close-range
30 days
control
to
of
send
the
them?
environment.
The answer is not
None of those
bureaucracy,
tasks
it
can
is
be
physics.
completed by missiles alone.
Iran's entire
And that's
coastal
where the
defense,
gap
they could be coming in a
appears.
machine
The
whose
Navy could
engineering makes
strike
every
anything
layer
it could
of surface
see,
defense
but it couldn't
irrelevant.
occupy
The
what it
31st
destroyed.
MEU
It
practiced
couldn't
exactly this
maintain
sequence
control
during
over the
exercise
space
HTEL,
clear.
requiring
And
less
without
than
that
90
control,
seconds from
the
emergence
strait
to launch.
remains effectively
Satellite imagery
closed.
can identify the tunnel
This
mouth.
is the moment where the
Iran does
nature
not
of the
know where
problem
Marines
shifts
will land.
from a
Abu
targeting
Musa,
challenge
Larak,
to a present
Keshem,
problem.
Karg,
And once
the
that
coastline
shift
near
happens,
Bandar
the
Abbas,
solution
Marines
has to
choose
change
one
with it.
island.
From the
Ospreys
outside,
launch and
it might look
550
like
Marines from the
hesitation.
battalion landing
30
team
days before
concentrate on
introducing
5 square
ground
miles of
forces
island
raises
surface.
questions.
The
But in
IRGC
reality,
garrison may
that
number 300 to
timeline reflects a
500,
sequence
so the
that
equation
had to
flips.
unfold in a
550
specific
Marines
order.
against 300
Marines
IRGC on a
cannot
single
operate
island.
effectively
The ratio
in an
is nearly 2 to
environment where
1
air
for the
defenses are
Marines.
still active.
Galabop's 150,000
Aircraft
becomes
delivering
300
troops
on the beach.
cannot survive
That is not
if
bravery.
missile systems
That is
are fully
geometry.
functional.
The attacker
Landing
chooses the
zones
point
cannot
and
be
concentrates.
secured if
The
the
defender must be
surroundings still
everywhere
under threat.
and spreads thin.
So each
This is the
layer
oldest
had to be
principle in
reduced
warfare,
first.
and it does not
Air
belong to the
defense
side with more
networks
troops.
needed to be
It belongs to the
suppressed
side
the
with
point
more
where they
mobility.
no longer
You cannot
posed a
predict which
consistent
mouth
risk.
or when.
Naval threats had to be removed to ensure
And those
safe
islands are only the
positioning
forward
of
edge.
amphibious
Backing them
forces.
up is the mainland
Missile
itself,
systems
a
had to be
1,000 miles
hunted
of
and
southern
graded
coastline lined
to
with
reduce
coastal missile
pressure on
batteries.
any insertion
The terrain
point.
is mountainous, the
This
silos
wasn't
are buried,
delay,
and the
it was
transporter
preparation,
erector launchers
a
move.
necessary progression
CENTCOM has
that
used
transformed a
5,000-pound
high-risk
GBU-72
operation
deep
into a
penetrators
manageable
to
one.
destroy fixed silos.
By the time
and they must
Marines
spread
enter the
evenly because they
equation,
do not
they're
know
not
where we
stepping
land.
into chaos.
But it gets worse.
They're stepping into
Iran
a
does not just have
battlefield that has
coastline
been
to defend.
systematically
Let us see what the
reshaped
math actually
to allow
says.
them to operate effectively. For decades,
Divide evenly.
coastal
That is
defense
150
strategies have
troops
been
per
built
mile.
around one
And so what is
assumption,
actually left of
that
Iran's
any
defense after
invasion
30
comes
days
from
of
the
epic
sea.
fury?
Ships approach, landing
Defenses
craft
means
deploy,
every radar that
forces
activates
move
draws an
toward the shoreline
AAR
under fire.
GM-ER.
Every defensive
Iran's
layer
integrated
Iran
air defense
developed
network is
was
functionally
designed to
silent.
counter that
Without
model.
air cover, the surface
Mines
navy
to
had
block
nowhere to
access,
hide. More than
missiles
60
to target
Iranian
ships,
warships now sit on the
fast
seabed.
attack craft to
Without a navy to
disrupt
protect
formations.
supply lines, the missile
It's a
and drone
logical
stockpiles
system.
bled
If the
out.
sea is
More than
blocked,
500
the landing
missiles and
never happens.
2,000 drones
But that
expended,
assumption
and the
is
factories that would
exactly
rebuild
what
them
gets
are rubble.
bypassed.
It has 7
Because the
islands:
forces entering
Karg,
this
Abu
scenario
Musa,
aren't
Larak,
relying on the
Keshem,
surface
Greater
at all.
Tumb, Lesser
They're
Tumb,
moving above
Hengam,
it.
each needing a
The
garrison,
introduction of
plus mainland
high-speed,
bases, plus the
long-range
western border.
vertical lift
Analysts estimate
changes
each
the
island needs
geometry
1,800 to
entirely.
2,000
Instead
troops
of
to hold
approaching
properly.
through defended
The
waters,
IRGC cannot
forces
put that
can
many on
originate
every
from
island and
far
still cover the
outside
coast.
the immediate
So each
zone
garrison,
and
in
arrive
practice,
directly
likely numbers
over
a
their
few
objective.
hundred. Now consider the
layers
Marines.
designed to
5
stop movement
amphibious
across
ships,
the surface
each one a
become
floating airfield
irrelevant
for
when
Ospreys.
movement no
At
longer
15
depends
knots,
on the
those ships can
surface.
reposition to
And that
select their
shift
point of attack
doesn't
within
just
12
create a new
hours.
option,
After
it
landing, the
invalidates
IRGC garrison
decades
on the
of
island is
defensive planning
isolated.
in a single
Iran's air
move.
defenses have collapsed.
Large numbers
no
create
airlift for
powerful
reinforcements.
impressions.
Iran's
Hearing
surface
that
navy
one
is on the
side has
seabed. No ferry runs.
150,000
The troops on the
troops
island are all the
suggests
troops there will ever
overwhelming
be.
superiority.
No additional soldiers.
But those numbers
no
only
additional
matter
ammunition.
if they can be
40
applied
years of
effectively.
coastal defense.
In this
built
case,
for a
they
war that
can.
arrives by water.
Those forces
and the war
are
just arrived
distributed
by sky.
across a massive
So Marines
area.
can land.
Coastlines,
But Iran says it has
islands, and
150,000
multiple
men
ports.
waiting.
They have to
30 to
cover
1.
everything
Surely that
because
matters.
they don't know where the
Marines can
attack will
land.
come from.
The numbers favor
That
them at the point of
requirement
attack.
forces them
But
to
numbers
spread
mean nothing
thin.
if the island's defenses
Meanwhile,
are
the
intact.
opposing force
Radar,
operates
missiles,
differently.
guns
It
pointed at the
doesn't
landing
defend,
zone. Defense
it
architecture
chooses.
is built
It
on that
selects a
assumption.
single point,
5,000 mines protect the
concentrates
approach
power
lanes on
there,
the surface.
and applies it
Anti-ship
rapidly.
missiles target
So
vessels
instead
on the
of facing
horizon.
the full weight
Fast
of
attack
those
craft
numbers,
lurk in
it
coves for
encounters
ambush
only a
runs.
fraction
The
of them
logic
at
is
any
elegant.
given
If you
location.
block the sea,
And in that
you block the
localized
landing.
moment,
But the
the
Marines
balance
arriving at
shifts.
Hormuz in
What
2026
appears
are not
overwhelming
coming
on
by sea.
paper becomes
Fly at
manageable
15,000
in
feet
practice.
above every
This
mine
isn't about
Iran ever
reducing the
laid
importance
and
of
land
numbers.
vertically on the island.
It's about
24
understanding
Marines
how
per
they're
aircraft,
used.
12
And in this
Ospreys per
case,
wave,
positioning,
288
timing,
Marines
and
on the ground in the first
concentration
assertion.
matter more than total
CH-53K
size.
King Stallions
Those
follow with
initial 30
artillery and
days
ammunition.
weren't about winning
AH-1Z
outright.
Vipers
They were
and
about shaping
F-35Bs
conditions.
suppress the landing
Each
zone and
strike
maintain air
removed a
superiority
piece of the
overhead.
larger system.
Mobile
Air
structure is
defenses were
degrading.
forced into
30 days of
silence,
strikes on
reducing
command
their
nodes,
ability
communication
to
relays,
coordinate
and
and
headquarters
respond.
facilities have
Naval
fractured the
assets were
coordination
eliminated,
between
limiting
IRGC
movement
units.
and resupply.
Orders that once flowed
Missile
across an integrated
inventories were
network
steadily
now travel by
reduced,
courier,
with
by
fewer
radio, by
replacements
guesswork.
available over time.
Units that once operated
Command
as a
structures
system
became
now
less
operate as
efficient
fragments.
as communication
Meanwhile, the
nodes
fast
were
attack
disrupted.
craft that remain,
None of
still
these
numbering in the
changes
hundreds,
alone
are
end
hunted
the
mines,
conflict,
still
but
passive,
together
still
they
patient, still in the
transform
water.
it.
but the
They take a
stockpiles and
fully
production
integrated
facilities are
defense
gone,
system
so no
and
new
reduce
mines will
it
be
to
laid.
isolated
The last
elements
genuine variable is the
operating without
Gadir-class
cohesion.
submarine fleet,
And that
20 or more
difference is
diesel-electric
critical.
midget submarines
Because
designed
once
for the Gulf's
coordination
shallow
breaks
100-foot
down,
waters.
response
But
time
submarines
is slow,
require ports for
gaps
battery charging,
appear,
torpedo resupply,
opportunities
and crew
emerge.
rotation.
What was
Epic
once a
Fury
unified
cratered the naval
network
bases and
becomes a
destroyed the
collection
submarine
of
tenders in the first week.
disconnected parts.
The surviving
And that's
midget
exactly
subs
the
are trapped
condition
beneath the
required
surface
for
with
the
dying
next phase to
batteries
succeed.
and nowhere safe to breathe.
What follows
Here is
isn't
what
a
all of this
single
means for the
action.
Marine mission.
It's a
When
combination
the air
of
defense network is
multiple
silent,
elements working
Ospreys no
together.
longer need dedicated
Forces
electronic
move
warfare
to secure
escorts.
key
The mission
positions
package
along
shrinks,
the
the
perimeter.
turnaround time
Others
drops,
prepare
Marines
to operate
seize the
deeper
coastline.
inside,
But Iran is
targeting
a
the structures
vast,
that
deeply
support the
fortified
remaining
interior.
defense.
To collapse
Air
a defense in
power
depth, you need a
continues
force
to
that
apply
ignores
pressure where
geography
needed,
entirely.
ensuring that
That is the
resistance
physics
stays
of the
fragmented.
82nd Airborne Division.
Electronic
Elements of the
systems
1st Brigade
disrupt
combat team,
communication and
alongside
awareness,
dust-off aero
limiting
medical
the
units,
ability
did
to
not deploy
respond
from Fort
effectively.
Liberty to storm a beach.
Each part
The Navy
plays a
brought
role,
carriers,
but
destroyers,
none
and
operate
tomahawks,
alone.
and proved the limits
This
of
is what
firepower.
changes the
It
outcome.
broke Iran's air
Instead
defenses,
of focusing
sank Iran's
on
navy,
isolated
and
targets,
leveled Iran's
the
weapons
operation
factories.
shifts toward
Extraordinary
controlling the
destruction.
environment
But
itself.
destruction is
And
not
once
control,
that control
and
begins
Hormuz
to take
runs
hold,
on certainty.
the dynamic
To transition
changes
from
again.
destruction to control,
Because the enemy
clearing
is no
mines beneath the
longer
surface,
shaping events,
neutralizing
it's
fortress islands in the
reacting to
corridor,
them.
hunting
And
mobile
reaction,
launchers in mountain
especially under
tunnels,
pressure,
required
is
something a
always
cruise
slower
missile
than
cannot
initiative.
deliver.
In
Boots
the
on
end,
the ground.
this situation
Or more
isn't
precisely,
defined by
boots
how
from the
much
sky.
force was used,
Iran designed
but
a
by
fortress
how that
to stop
force was
ships,
applied.
so America sent a
system
multi-domain
designed to
force
counter
from the
one
sky.
type of threat
5,000
faced a
Marines
completely
seizing the
different
perimeter
approach.
islands by Osprey
Defenses
over
built
every
for
mine
surface
under stealth
encounters
fighters,
were
and the
bypassed by
82nd
movement
Airborne
through the
dropping
air.
deep inland to
Layers
collapse the
designed
interior.
to work together
A system
would
built for
separate and
ships,
reduce over
dismantled
time.
from above.
And once
The
that
fourth
happens,
quarter
the
opens the
outcome
strait,
becomes
not because
less
someone
about
gave an
decisions
order,
and
because the
more about
mathematics left
inevitability.
no alternative.
Control
5,000
isn't
Marines,
established through
21
destruction alone.
nautical miles,
It requires
one
presence,
equation.
positioning, and the ability
Beach.
to maintain stability
Paratroopers do
over
not
time.
use beaches.
That's the
They
shift
exist to
that
bypass the
ultimately
coastal
matters.
killing zones,
Because
drop
once
onto
control
strategic
begins to
airfields deep
replace
inside
chaos,
Iranian
the
territory
conditions
and
that
cut the
kept
supply
strait
lines
closed
feeding the
start to
defenses.
disappear.
But you do not send
instantly
infantry
and
into a
not
fortress
dramatically,
without
but
clearing the
steadily.
geometry first.
And in a scenario
that
like
explains
this,
the Air Force.
steady change
A 10
is
Sea
what
Warthogs
determines
from
the
Idaho
final
and
result.
Michigan arrived